they liked it, that combination of the guys going, then the girls going, and the guy going, and the girl going. So it just kind of took off. I mean, I remember literally, I made the drill team. I literally was about to 1 week perform at Battle of the Bands or something, like a pre-Battle of the Bands. And that same day I had to make that decision to either go to Battle of the Bands or go on set to shoot the video that y'all know now as the Knuck If You, the official Knuck If You Buck video. So it was a lot that I had to sacrifice. It happened so fast, it seemed like, but it was still a lot of work that we put into it, you know. But it kind of like, once it hit, it just legs took off on its own.
That's crazy. It's crazy to me too, because it's all starts with you like pursuing this passion, right? Like you said, like music is oftentimes that scapegoat, right? Like when we're going through pain, we're going through trials,
Facts.
whatever it is. It's like music, even if you're making fun music, it doesn't always have to be like heartbreak music, but it's an expression of the soul. And so as you're doing that, you're connected with why you were put on this earth, right? Like you have a purpose now.
Yes,
and then
Lord.
that purpose is fueling you. And because it's what you're pursuing, there's this process. So now you're around the other people that have a similar passion and purpose, and it's neat to me how it becomes this melting pot of where like y'all four weren't originally crime mob together, but because there was that magic there and there was that passion,
the chemistry,
then that song births all of it. That's crazy to me.
And then to this day, 17 years later, every club, every night, I don't care where you at, overseas, US, every night. So, you know, I went through the transition of, you know, starting from that and branching off to be solo. It's like, well, I've accomplished other things too. I've been nominated 2 times BET, and I've got this award, you know. But it's like I've learned to embrace it. I understand that it's a big part of the culture. I understand that the reason why it's so influential for generations to come, because it's a part of what you go through. You got the peer pressure. You got kids hating on you at school, you hanging with this clique, wardrobe, you figuring life out, you're rebellious, parents, like every generation can relate to it, you know. And now I understand it, and I use that tool as my foundation to do anything, whether, like you said, my skincare line, whether I'm doing reality television, crime mob, and that music, that core is always going to be my base, you know what I mean, for everything that I do.
That's awesome. You know, I was thinking, like, because once again, as I'm 15 years old and I'm hearing that, and then I find out in another interview that you were 15 when you did that, and I was thinking, there's no way that I could have done that at 15 because I just didn't have the mindset for that. And so it's awesome to get the insight of like what was going through your mind, the discipline, because if someone hasn't done music before, especially if you're doing it on your own, you got to figure that shit out. Like there's a lot that goes into it that people don't realize.
Even that transition, the first album, we had to record in 2 weeks. I remember literally my assistant, but she was older than me. She was driving. Of course, I wasn't old enough to drive. My assistant would pick me up from my bus stop from, you know, school and say about, I get off the bus like, 4 o'clock ish. Have time to grab something, get something to eat. I got to be at the studio by 6. We're literally in the studio from 6 p.m. until 6 in the morning. So that means I got to get whatever I got to get recorded and still get my sleep because I got to be at school by 7:30, 7:45. Did the same routine every single day for 2.5 weeks for us to complete the first Crime Mob album. That was, you know, a transition within itself, you know, because it's like you got to be in school to be up to learn the lessons and get your grades. But then also you got to be, you know, up in the studio to listen to the tracks as the tracks are being made. Listen to the hook. Are you contributing to the hook? You need to have your verse ready because back then it was like it's a lot of us. So if you ain't got your verse ready by a certain time, then guess what? You missed that slot and now it's on to the next song. You know, so it was different. It was a lot of sacrifices. You had to have a lot of discipline. But in hindsight, I'm glad that I had the chance to do it at such a young age because I have made a lot of mistakes, and I feel like because I had the chance to do it young, I still was blessed enough to have a second and a third and a fourth chance after falling and making, you know, mistakes and so forth.
Yeah, I think